Hello guys, thank you so much for joining us on today. This is the first time I live. My name is Chief Apostle Samuel the Jr. I am the apostle and pastor of Philosophy of Jesus Christ Incorporated. My beliefs are deeply rooted in the ATRs. The ATRs are the African traditional religions by which we harness, direct, and disperse energy, frequency, and vibration. I want to talk to my melanated people. I have been doing magic since I was a child. 3 to 4 years of age. I'm 52 years of age on today, and I want birthday is I'll be 53 in December of this year. The reason why I'm citing those quotes is because I have been doing magic for a very long time. I have been initiated in various of tradition. I am the pastor and apostle of Apostolic Faith of Jesus Christ Incorporated, and I'm always an endeavor with melanated people to give answers to solutions. This particular live is for educational purposes only. I'm a Sagittarius, my moon is in Aries, and my rising sign is Pisces. What's up, Sister Tree? Aries in house. To each and every one of you guys that hit the click, hit the live, to let people know that I am live. This is going to be a very informative but educational when it comes down to conjure, mysticism, and magic. I am a very proactive individual, and we're living in a climate that melanated people, whether they're initiated or non-initiated, whether you are a person that practices the black arts as deep as I do, or you're somebody that is on the side and that you're are interested in actually learning, whether you go to somebody or somebody you do magic on your own. Thank you, Demetra. Thank you for being with me, my Gemini in the house. To each and every one of you guys, when it comes down to educating people, when it comes to magic, one of the things that I try. Thank you so much for the gifts. One thing that I try to do for Black American people and those that are either practicing magic or those that are getting work done. One of the things that I want to address is the lynching with Black American people. And the reason I say it's for educational purposes only because it is a fear tactic. And one of the things that I've told and I've said on my last live, how necromancy plays such a part. And if you are initiated in various of traditions, there's certain deities, certain spirits that we can contact and be proactive. I wish I could learn from you in person. Much respect, JK. I have my classes, and I teach real magic. When I say that, Demetrius, there are some people on my live right now. I do not teach like everybody else. I do not teach I don't regurgitate information from the internet. I don't regurgitate stuff from books. I learn real magic. I do teach things that apply to people, whether initiated or not initiated. The reason I'm going to talk about whether you're a root worker, a mystic, a conjurer. One of the things that we all can do is this. If you have truly been hexed, then you did go to my website and get a consultation. You speaking that to me on my live does nothing for you. It does nothing for me. It only distracts. If you're not hitting my Cash App or my Zelle, or hitting I also have a YouTube channel, so let me go on. The reason why I'm talking about lynching and a form of black men being hung, and why it is a magical thing, it is because if or more of us and a child of Ochosi, or children of people that have this particular racial, when we speak to nature and those that understand tree magic, when we speak and we learn how to communicate with nature, what happens as melanated people, that when people in the system utilizes the structures that be to hide behind, to mass murderers or mass people that have afflicted melanated people, one of the things that we can do as melanated people, because energy cannot be destroyed, we can speak to the woods, we can speak to the forest, we can speak to the trees to uncover our adversaries. Magic is our first line of defense. I hate and it hurts me when I see melanated people turn to the authorities for justice, for answers. Energy will respond to you, whether you're initiated or non-initiated. When you go back to any form of ATR will teach you about the energy of a place, whether it's crossroad, whether it's forest, whether it is the ocean, whether it is a mountain, a hill, or a plain, which is a level field or land mass. When we turn to nature for answers, we get answers. When we turn to man, that's why the scripture said, with man, things are impossible. With God or energy or source or frequency or vibration, all things are possible. I'm going to say this again. The reason why melanated people, and especially Black American people, need to turn back to their conjure, to their sorcery. And sorcery is simply you being the source of the energy by which you are operating, invoking, conjuring, or manifesting. That's all it is. When you become the source and you have melanin, your dark matter, your carbon energy, you can utilize that energy in frequency. The reason why I'm bringing up Ochosi, not only because I have the Orisha Ochosi, but Ochosi never misses. Any entity or any spirit that has to do with hunting, like Artemis, or any ancestor like my father that was good at hunting, or any Native American or quote unquote Indian that is a scout, that is a lookout, that is a lookout. These spirits can locate and they can track down anything. And when you have an unsolved murder, then you need to turn to your ancestors, because the dead do talk. I can't make anybody do anything. All I can do is educate, tell you what conjure that is accessible to melanated people, in order for melanated people to get the answers that they desire or the justice. They cannot turn to man. You turn to man. Good afternoon, Mother Susan. You turn to man after you have consulted with spirit. You turn to man after spirit has directed you. You can turn to man after the spirit has ordered your steps, and whether you should go the north, the south, the east, the west, or stand still. Every time I hear, and we're still dealing with hangings or lynchings in 2025, and black men, what black people need to understand, whether these lynchings are ritual or not, they are ritualistic in nature. Because anytime, just say for instance, if you use the pentagram, it doesn't matter who created it. If you use that, you're going to tap into the energy by which it was designed. You understand? There were certain initiations or ceremonies offered to certain deities, we're giving melanated people as an offering. Just like in our ATRs, we offer animals based on certain deities or certain goddesses or certain spirits, because they require a blood offering. There are certain spirits that were given and have been named in these Americas that when black men are offered as a sacrifice, it's for a certain manifestation. This is also a physical thing, but this is also a spiritual thing. And I'm trying to educate melanated people when it comes to conjure. Just like we do certain things as a representation for a particular outcome when it comes down to certain spirits and Ache and time zones. They have to feed those spirits. And whether their ancestors know what they are doing or not, they're offering those energies. And what we have to do is counteract those manifestations. Not just post videos of the deceased or the lynching, but also counteract the energy by which those lynchings took place. This is for educational purposes only. The reason why I'm saying to black American people what I'm saying is because these lynchings mean something to me, because I'm black American. I'm a black American man. When you are involved in traditions where other people are crowned or initiated or scratched, but they do not see themselves in that young man, that could have been me, Lynch, that could have been my uncle, my dad, my cousin. All this is important, because when your elders do not see their image in the plights and the issues that are going on in your personal life, they don't see a need to pray. They don't see a need to advocate. They don't see a need to give solutions. If this was happening to other ethnic groups, then the spiritual community of those ethnic groups would be acknowledging and also offering solutions and healing to our people. This is why I say to you, if you have the opportunity to be engaged in any ATRs and with a black or a black man or woman, it's to your benefit. Because when you as an elder can't relate to the pain of a black woman or man, when I see the black men or women that are associated with these lynchings and the tears that fall from their eyes, I am moved to compassion. But I'm also aware why my other brothers and sisters in Ifa, Voodoo, Santeria, Lukumi, Congo, and any other ATR are not moved. Their life is not shaken. Their hearts are not disturbed. They see and don't see. This is why I tell black American people, return to your roots. Return to your Ache. Return to your Chi. Return to your Prana. I don't care how upset I get with black American people. I'm going to ride for y'all. I don't expect other ethnic groups to be concerned that that young man, Trey Reed, was hung. And then the other young man, I can't even keep up with him. But I understand, as a necromancer, as a conjurer, as a crown priest of Oya, as a recipient of Orisha Ochosi, to give my Black American people. This is why I told you guys about going to my website and getting your membership. Even if you can't afford to go through the initiation, being up on a proper covering that can relate to your issue. The Bible says from your heart flows the issues of life. My Black American people, Black women, see, I'm gonna see a Jamaican as one of me, as a Haitian as one of me. I can't help that their culture doesn't see Black American people. It's not that we have a problem with you having a personal pride. It's the problem is that you don't have the proper compassion that I would have for a Haitian, a Jamaican, a Nigerian. But when Black people are being hung, even in this present day, as a Black man that is in conjure and mysticism and Black arts, I am compelled to come to my people and give them a solution to the madness. If you're not initiated, you can still speak to the trees. All you need to have is melanin. Speaking, you want to speak to everything that God did not give you dominion over, which is one of us. He never gave you dominion over man, but he gave you dominion over the forest, the fish of the sea, the fowls of the air, the beasts of the field, the creeping things that creepeth upon the earth. When we as a consciousness turn to those trees, they will report back to us who did this. And we can say, avenge us. Avenge that soul of their adversary. See, once these people, Caucasian people, are held reliable and they see karma being manifested, they won't be so apt to hang. You don't see Latinos being hung. You don't see Cubans being hung. You don't see Nigerians being hung. You see you see Black Americans being hung, whether it's male or female. But you see Black American people keep running to justice. Not divine justice, man-made justice. Systems that have nothing to do with protecting and securing your well-being and your life. You have African traditional religions or sciences that were created for your safety and for your protection and most certainly for your justice. These are the things that we need to be proactive. The reason why we keep seeing this is because they understand that a lot of us are not tapped into our conscience. The only time we want to do work against somebody when somebody messing with our man, when somebody is messing with our woman, or when somebody messing with our children in that respect. But we only want to do work and work that black magic on our people. If you were cursing, if you will bring judgment to the KKK in any faith, any shape or form, you would see less and less of manifestation of these activities. Black American people, for the education, no purposes only. Ochosi has dual nature. And let me say something to my Christian people. Your prayers that are not anchored in black melanin will not have the proper power, because this system was also created in magic. I'm just being honest with you. It takes work. This is why it's called systematic racism. It's not just a natural thing. That's why when, for educational purposes only, when Charlie Kirk died, racism didn't die. Some of you are advocating for certain people of this regime to be unalive. That's not going to stop the energy of racism. It was a work, it was a spell, it was a ceremony that was done over 500 years ago to the establishment and the birthing of what is called on this day United States of America. Just like your African sciences were birthed and engineered spiritually, life, blood, and energy and Ache was given to your sciences, whether it is called hoodoo, whether it's called voodoo, whether it's called Santeria, whether it's called Lukumi. These were energetically empowered, not just in the natural, but the spiritual. If enough of us get together and start speaking to the forest, start speaking to the trees, and start demanding that they give up our enemies, that they reveal and bring to light our enemies, that let the grass that they walked upon speak against them. Let the rope that was utilized, every material that was utilized to bring hurt and harm to our children, avenge us of their blood. Like Abel's blood was avenged in the Bible regarding the slaughter that Cain brought upon him. Do you understand that? When you are educated, when you are in the know, that when you understand universal laws, then they cannot provoke a fear. But if we just sit and observe the magical ritual that took place and do not utilize our personal anger, our personal ache, to let the trees speak, to allow the vines that are in the forest that can testify of who entered in and who spilled that blood. That's why things of this nature is important, melanated people. When you are educated by your own, when you are spoken to by your own, when they understand your plight, your issue. This is why the scripture says that when it came to Yahshua, we have not a high priest that has not been touched by our own infirmity. When you have people like me that are in the ATRs, are initiated in the ATR, we can feel you. Why it is important? Because nobody had to tell me how to feel. Nobody had to explain to me what's going on. I'm already tapped in. When you are up under leadership that does not honor your image, they don't feel nothing. When they tell you, when we see on television the governor of Utah in anguish and hurt over Charlie Kirk because he can see himself. The reason why Charlie Kirk was able to say what he said about George Floyd, because he didn't see himself in George Floyd, but I saw. Do you hear me? It is important, melanated people, that you have people that replicate or resemble your image and your likeness, that are in these type of positions. I may not be crowned Mafedifun Ochosi, but I am definitely crowned Mafedifun Oya and Babaluaye. And I also have my own personal Orisha of Ochosi. I have my own cauldron. I'm also an initiate in Palo, Miambe. I have my own cauldron. This is why it is important that black men and women are supported. This is why when you come to my live, I'm always talking about issues regarding black people, and especially black American people. This is why your personal support is essential, because this is what I want to awaken black people. Stop having the mentality of waiting till it happens to your bloodline before you are outraged, before you make a move. The same concept that is going on around social media about blackout system, because it takes all of us. It takes everybody contributing in one fashion or another to not only protect us, but to let our voices be heard. I want us to understand, they did not hang, they did not lynch a black man on the street. There's a reason. Just like when I go, I'm making certain sacrifices, I'm looking for certain types of animals. I'm looking for a specific goat. I'm looking for a specific rooster. Your children are being picked out with a purpose. Those people that are being chosen have a certain representation. I need y'all to understand. Go back, if you're a good root worker, if you're a good hoodooist, a good conjurer, you know that symbology is a part of magic. Not just the death, not just the hanging, but who did they hang? Who did they lynch? It's the energy behind that individual. If we start understanding our energy, we start understanding our che, we will understand why certain people are targeted. Just like I was informed by another melanated brother, I don't know him from Adam, the executive order that President Trump did regarding cashless bonds. So then when you get arrested for misdemeanors or frivolous issues, you have to sit in jail. It's no more bonding out. And he didn't do that for white people or Caucasian people. He did that targeting melanated people or black American people. Everything is, stop saying who's stupid. Everything is strategic. It's intentional. When you do conjure, it's intentional. You keep talking about how cruel things are being done when you're not paying attention to why it's being done. It's always about the motive. why things are being done. Our hair is also a energy conductor. Exactly. The more of us, and especially black women, that are educated about what's going on and the power that is necessary for us to start implementing strategies that are proactive, reversing the actions of people that are trying to bring us into the spirit of fear, that are trying to neutralize our black. This is why I keep telling melanated people, go back to the Ankh. It takes masculine and feminine energy to manifest. As long as we keep undermining one another, we cannot afford, we do not have the luxury, sir and ma'am, of remaining ignorant. We don't have the luxury of saying, well, I don't want to practice voodoo. I don't want to practice Santeria. I don't want to practice Lakumi. I don't want to practice Ifa. Because when you don't have a seat to the table, you have no voice. The people in my community, my spiritual community, have to listen to me because I'm crowned. They have to hear my heart issues because I'm crowned. I'm initiated. They cannot overlook my voice. They don't have to support me, but they cannot ignore me. I wear the badge. When you are in Masonic order, my spiritual dad was a Mason, and my grandmother, my biological grandmother, was an Eastern Star. Her voice had to be heard. My spiritual dad, I come from people that were shot callers. They were a part of certain societies that gave them different types of voices. This is why every president is initiated in a secret society. This is why the voice of Barack Obama matters. This is why First Lady Michelle matters. We keep acting like these people are not significant in the manifestation that is at the good. This is why when black people were saying that Barack Obama didn't do anything for them, when you're not educated enough to know how the system is work and things that he had implemented as president in his executive orders, if he had did nothing for black people, there will have been nothing for Donald Trump to undo what Barack Obama did. This is the foolishness. This is the lack of education and willingness to be ignorant. When you say it doesn't matter that the Attorney General is not a black American, it's not enough for them to be Haitian, because Haitian people don't see themselves as black American. So there are certain cases that the Attorney General won't pick up. When that doctor is not a black American doctor, there's certain surgeries or there's certain things that he or she would do or not do for the safety and the well-being of a black American man or woman. This is why in history they said people that were part of the KKK, they said these words. They said, we're going to become your doctors. We're going to become your lawyers. We're going to become your judges. We're going to become all these things that you have need. We're going to become your bankers. And you wonder why even with your magic, it's so hard for you to make it in these United States. Because instead of you becoming what you have need of, You become the fathers. You become the elders. You become the leaders, the conjurers, the mystics, and the ajays, and the midwives, and the medicine men and the medicine women. The reason I have an answer, I can educate you, because I'm inside, I'm at the table. And my black issues will be heard. I have a high enough rank that you cannot override the workings that I'm doing. You're not going to hear other Santeros speaking about this. You're not going to hear other Paleros or Tatas or Tata Orientades talking about this. They're not going to offer you a solution. They're not going to tell you what deity to venerate, what to do to be proactive, because it doesn't relate to them. But I will. I'm going to also do a teaching on my YouTube page to all of you that don't have a covering, that don't have membership, don't have a source where you can go to and get the necessary information, knowledge, wisdom, and the skill. Because I'm not just somebody that's knowledgeable. I also can execute my knowledge and training. My great grandmother was a midwife and a healer. I remember going into the woods with her seeking herbs. This is what we have to do. This is why I will forever thank God for Dr. Sebi and his son, and those that are carrying on those traditions of teaching us how to nurture and protect our bodies, our alkaline bodies, our melanated bodies, our electromagnetic bodies, and what we need in order to thrive and to flourish. I'm educating you that you not only recognize what's going on, you understand the writs that are behind those and what is necessary to counter those ceremonies. There are certain spirits that have to be offered innocent blood. When you say, and you get on television and say, my son don't bother nobody, he was the perfect candidate for the sacrifice. When you say, my son was a loving person, your son fit the description of the sacrifice. We need hard truths, and these are not our platforms. And therefore, we're going to discuss black issues, and we want to educate black people. Black investment is necessary. We don't have the luxury of supporting other people anymore. I'm going to say it again. Hello, how you doing? We don't have the luxury. And I would hope something I said, and I'm saying, that you won't, thank you for all the likes, that you will not wait till it happens in your town, among your family, among your loved ones, before you want to speak out. We don't have the luxury of silence. We have to educate. And we have to have elders and people of experience to educate us, where we're not out here like a chicken with their head cut off. We're not out here stumbling in the dark. There are many melanated people that are in the legal field. There are many melanated black American people that are in the justice system. When that black police officer had to stand up to that podium and to rule out foul play with the lynching. This is what happens when you think it's about your job. They use you. They sacrifice your character. They sacrifice your skin to tell black people what they wanted black people to hear. When you will allow yourself to be a pawn, and when you as a black American person allows yourself to be the scapegoat, it is also a sacrifice. I know that every time I get up and teach knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, that I'm sacrificing myself. Because when you live in a world of lies and deceit and carnistry, and people have itching ears, black people, no matter how much truth that I speak, the average black person only responds in a reactive situation, which is not good. Being proactive puts you back in the driver's seat. You don't wait till another lynching takes place. You proactively start conjuring. You proactively start speaking. Because the next, one of the other gen, I keep telling black American people, they're going to outlaw our practices. They're going to make it illegal. The legal language, religion will be Christianity in these Americas. Not because they're Christian. To have any reason to lock you up or kill you for practicing ATRs. Because they're strategic in how they operate. And they know they cannot overthrow us. Why wait till something happens? Why don't we congregate with and behind people that are already functioning? Many of us, if we're not the leading light in something, we don't want to be a part of it. If we don't have our voice, we don't have the luxury of playing those games. We need real people that have real gifts, real talent, and real ability, and real know-how, and willing to be guided by people that have certain expertise. You might not have the gift, but you got the expertise. Thank you so much, Demetrius. You may not have the gift, but you got the expertise. I'll let you guide me. This is essential for melanated people. I am educating from a person that has vast amounts of experience. I also have the understanding of what rituals mean, and I understand why those particular men were chosen to be lynched. And I understand the symbology behind the placing them on the tree. Just like us, when we hang something in a tree, all of us, those that do voodoo, Santeria, Lacuma, we work with trees. He was a physical doll, a representation, a house to embody that energy. And we have to deal with that energy. And they did more than one. Please, melanated people, get around real conjurers, real mystics, real yamis, real people that are indulged in the black arts, so they can give you a better realistic understanding of what the symbolization of this and how to counteract this energy and bring justice or vengeance, either one of those blades, to the people that lynch those. I have this thing, I don't care who conspired. I don't care if they'll sew you the rope. You're going to be dealt with too. And when they see tangible manifestation behind touching our people, they'll stop. Long as you screaming and crying, that don't move them. When they see the hand of our ancestors moving tangibly, whether it's hoodoo, voodoo, Santeria, then they will adhere. But things need to happen. When I found out Trayvon Martin's parents were Haitian, and I didn't see Ezeli Dontor showing up, I didn't see Dambala showing up, I didn't see Baron Zamzi, Mama Bridget showing up, I didn't see La Serene, I didn't see Job, Baron Criminal, Met Kafu 1 and 2. It was a sad day for me. It was a sad day for me. And George Zimmerman got acquitted. I was shocked. I knew those people were going to do ceremony to avenge their son. You done got so Americanized and so Christianized that you allowed your son, and you sat in court and heard your son screaming for his life, and that, oh my God, on today. I can't even stand to see my mama and my sister cry. No less than screaming for their life. Oh my God, on today. I'm just here to educate. When you wouldn't turn to what is natural to you to vindicate your son, and all you did get on camera and cry, what the hell was that going to do? I would have saved them tears for Ezeline Dautor. I would have saved them tears from Dambala. I would have saved my tear from La Serene. I would have saved my tear from the Baron. That's who would have got my tears. The judge and everybody involved would have got the laws. I'm sorry. I'm here to educate Black American people. This is not a time for fear. This is a time to be proactive and be around people that have aggressive magic. People that understand how to be dirty and get you some justice. That's why we like the movie Coven, because Angela Bassett got some justice. She made some things happen. There were some consequences. So I hope this helped. I hope that you understand the real Ochosi. I hope you understand the real purpose of African traditional religions. I hope you understand the reason why we don't have the luxury of not supporting Black American practitioners of any sorts. Because that bothers me. That does not bother my Padrino. Whether he saw it or not, my Oba. They're not going to say nothing. If it's not a Latino being hung, if it's not happening to Cuban people, if it's not happening to Philippines, if it's not happening to Nigerians or Congolese, it don't move them. This is why it's essential. If you're not going to initiate, support those that are initiated. Not only your words and your deed, but in your resources. See, racist people don't just be racist. They fund racism. They invest in racism. They educate racism. For every action, there must be an opposite and equal reaction. Who was trying to get in my line? Hello.
Hi.
You had something you want to add to the conversation?
Yes, sir. I was listening to you. I don't normally listen to your channel, but I was listening to you, and some of the things that you were saying took me back to my youth. I'm
Mhm.
69 years old, but I
Yes,
had a
ma'am.
great great grandmother, and evidently she practiced what you're talking about, because I remember her going into the woods, and I put that in the chat. I remember people coming to her, and she would be doing stuff and praying, and I didn't understand it,
Right.
but I see it now.
It's like hindsight. They say it's 2020. Our people. The thing about it is nowadays everything is commercialized, and therefore it has a label on it. Back then, black people did what they were taught to do and they knew to do. You know what I'm saying? So it didn't ever have a label of hoodoo. It didn't have a label of voodoo. It was just
Right,
they knew how to pray. They knew that if they intercede and read certain psalms and they used certain herbs, certain things happen. And it didn't have a label. And a lot of times when you're talking to elders and you're talking to people and you're coming in with labels, the first thing they say, "Oh, I don't know, I don't do hoodoo. All I know how to pray." But that is a part of that science
right,
that you may not have been educated to. Being able to count is still labeled arithmetic, right? But
right,
you might not say, "Oh, I do arithmetic." You say, "I know how to count,"
right,
but it's still arithmetic. Um, with knowledge comes the education of being able to share things. And I appreciate you sharing that, because a lot of things, I'm not trying to get black people to do something different. They've been doing it the whole time. They just understand what they were doing, or they knew what they were doing, but they were afraid to be labeled. Black people are very, very afraid to be labeled in the ATRs, but they will utilize the knowledge of alum. They will utilize the knowledge of salt. They will utilize the knowledge
right.
of sulfur. They will utilize the knowledge of camphor. They know these things. Black people knew about pine sol. They understood that pine sol came from the pine tree, and to
Yep,
clean up their houses early in the morning, whether they were rich or whether they were poor. They all did it. You can smell in black community certain things because everybody was doing the same thing. Everybody was spring cleaning around the same time. They didn't use bleach. They used octagon soap. They
yep,
used soaps that had lye in it. They
yep.
understood to heat that water at a certain temperature.
That's right.
And
And
yeah, go ahead.
before I hop off, it was one other thing that you were talking about when you were talking about the trees, and you brought something else back. In front of my great grandmother's house, there was a tree that she grew, and she put bottles on the limbs. And when the wind would blow, you would hear those. It was like a wind chime, but it was on a tree.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked her about that one time, and she said that's to keep the spirits away. That's all she said. But it was all kind of bottles hanging on that tree. And I'm gonna let you go, but
Yeah,
this has
I
been
really, I
amazing.
really appreciate you coming up here and sharing that, because all it indicates there's nothing new under the sun.
Exactly.
We doing it anyway, whether you label it and call it this or that, you still know what to do. and we need to be proud of our heritage, proud of how we medicated ourselves, proud of how we protected ourselves, and everything had a reason. And thank you so much for sharing that publicly on our platform. It was we are very thankful.
Thank you. You have a blessed day.
You too. And there you have it. Like, there's nothing new that is going on when it comes down to country. It is black people understanding. She has such a sweet, yeah. She has an informed verse. Let me say this: when elders share stories like that, it keeps people like me from looking like we coming up with something new. We have new terminology. The things that people call money. My sister had this thing when she talks about money or currency, she call it fettuccine. Mama call it green. You know, we have all these different types of labels that we give things, but it's still saying the same thing. When we talk about floor washes, all black people did was clean their houses, but they cleaned their houses with certain things, and they had a certain purpose of what to make that mop water in. They had a certain broom that they swept their porch or they swept their house. They had a certain mop. They had certain things behind their doors. Every black person of every culture was doing it. They just didn't say that was Obeah, or that was conjure, or that was mysticism, or that was something they learned out of the book of Psalms or of the 6 and 7 books of Moses. This is stuff that is essential, and I hope that other women like this mother would speak and share their testimonies of things that they remember, whether they can articulate the tradition or not. That's irrelevant. To understand that I'm not sharing new information. I'm expounding on foundational information that was essential to black survival and black protection. And the bottles, glass carries or holds energy, and sometimes they place certain things in the side of the bottles. Everybody didn't do the same thing, but there are certain things. I remember bottles being made, and there were bottles hung and there was bottles buried. We all have different testimonies, but they teach us how to protect our land. They teach us how to secure our borders. Bottles, glass holds energy. My Haitian brother, we did a work and we used the brown bottle, a Babaku rum, Haitian rum, and there were certain things placed inside of the bottle and certain petition placed inside the bottle, and then it was taken to the ocean. And Ebasa, I feel that it was taken to the ocean. Black American people, we do all different types we do the same type of magic. We speak a different language, we have a different culture, but at the time it is still magic of protection, magic of manifestation. What's up, my Cancer from Chi-Town? What's up? I just saw her come in. These are all essential. Thank you for the tapping of the stream. If you're in the live and you don't mind tapping the stream, because it helps promote the particular streamline. If you don't understand what lynching is and the purpose behind it, and when you are on a live that educate us what it is symbolically, what it is magically, energetically, why that particular black, and notice that they use a black male, because male energy transmits directs energy. When they unalived him, it was for a purpose. It was a purpose of why they hung it from the tree. So like a bottle has purpose. And the reason why they wanted the sun, they wanted the sun to come up on their body because the sun magnifies energy. This is why we were taught to do things before the sun rises. Because once the sun rises, it magnifies the energy. Whatever that energy is. Whether it's for a purpose of good or evil. It's all about educational people. I got my quartz crystals, huge quartz crystals out there in the sun. They magnify energy. Whatever type of energy I'm working. The intention does not matter. It's the energy. And this is what I want to educate melanated people. You have to be around black people and black of American people that understand the issues of your heart. I understand our passion. I had a young lady tell me, she said, well, I'm sorry you got so angry with me. I didn't mean any harm. I said, honey, I wasn't angry. I'm passionate. When you're not a black American person, you don't understand our emotional state. I know that when my mother looks at me as a child and she give me that look, she don't have to be angry. She intend for me to stop doing what I'm doing. Because I know the difference between my mother being angry and my mother just wanting me to stop doing what I'm doing. Because I understand her emotions as a black American woman. And that's what I'm sharing with many of you all. Why it is so essential. What can I say? If you want to follow me, if you want to get involved with ceremonies that I'm going to be implementing to be proactive. If the family does not contact me, I'm not going to disturb the image of their loved ones. But I am going to be proactive with what took place. I hope that people will reach out to people like me and seek justice through African traditional religions. Let the trees, let the woods, let the vegetation avenge us. Mother Earth, everything that grows from her has an energy, a frequency, and vibration. I have a class that I'm going to be teaching intermediate level of conjuring and teaching us how to summon our spirits or summon spirits out of things. So we understand the science behind this, not the hocus pocus. This is not theater. This is not drama. This is not illusions. It's not a sleight of the hand. This is real science, real magic, real energy, real frequency, real vibration. But Ochosi can track down those people. He can hunt them down, and Ochosi doesn't miss. Minister Mario is crowned. He's our he's among the ancestors, but he's crowned priest of Ochosi, and his particular Ochosi has no mercy. So that's the vessel that I'm going to be working with in order to help black people with this. This is not just about the lynching. This is about the energy that was released This is about knowing purpose, knowing that your energy cannot be destroyed, knowing that you're already eternal. When you initiate, you can be summoned, you can be communicated with. I don't have to explain to him the black plight because he was an American black man. And this is so much beneficial to Apostolic Faith of Jesus Christ and my tribe and those people that are attached to me. Because we have priests in our congregation that understand black issues, black tears, black heartaches, black trauma, black prosperity, black healing, black success. We have a personal invested interest in you being educated and not being ignorant. Thank you so much. This is something that I want to express on today. I hope that some way, somehow, this educated you why people like me exist, why we are necessary. I'm a natural born necromancer, but also a natural born warrior. And we have to learn what fights to pick up. They're trying to set things in motion to paralyze us, to bring us back in what they call subjection, putting us in our place. And they want to use iron. And the reason why they want to use prison iron, because iron is Ogun. Iron blocks energy. And they want to put us in places where our energy is blocked. Let me tell y'all something before if they ever happens to me. Don't let Caucasian people assassinate the character or the reputation of black people in order to get their agenda across. If you are a Christian man or Christian woman and you don't believe that anybody is perfect, then I don't have to be perfect to be telling the truth. I don't have to live your lifestyle to be telling the truth. I don't have to accommodate your views or opinion to be telling the truth. We have to stop allowing them to utilize media to label and to massacre the reputation of the vehicles by which the spirit is utilizing. That would be the county jail in Jacksonville, Florida. It sealed the energy inside. Exactly. Everything that they're doing is with purpose. All I'm trying to do is educate you to stop falling for the matrix, the mechanics that they implement in order to ensnare, entrap, and confine our energy, our frequency, and vibration. The quickest thing to do is to talk about what somebody does. It's what we stand for. Our mothers don't have to be perfect. It's what she stands for as our mother. Our fathers don't have to be perfect. This is what they stand for. They don't have to be perfect. Our aunties, our uncles, our cousins, our sisters, our brothers. Black melanated people, stop falling for the okie doke. Assassinating people's reputation does not stop the truth. I am at this point in this particular timeline embodying of judgment and karma and vengeance. My personal shortcomings does not stop the anointing. Isaiah 10:27. Stop allowing media to depict to you who and what black men and women are, whether through music, whether it's through movies, whether it's through cartoons. Stop feeding into that. We are eternal. We are electromagnetic creatures. We are melanin. We are the chaos energy of the universe. We're carbon energy. We are 6 neutrons, 6 electrons, and 6 protons. We have a DNA that goes back to the beginning. We're extraterrestrial. We're stardust. We're diamonds in the sky. But all of us are not online. All of us are not able or in a position to administrate or execute our energy, our frequency, and vibration. All of us are not economically empowered. But we are Black American people. And I care, and I'm here to educate. What it resonates with, that's to be determined. But my reasoning coming here today is to help us understand this lynching. I'm going to be more in depth when I go on YouTube because I have more freedom of speech until they do away with that. To the family, as a spiritual leader, I would urge you to find somebody like me, male or female, that's Black American, that knows their stuff, to get you some help and allow these 360 days since the unaliving of your loved one to be utilized as effective and proficient as possible. That is my knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, or in advice and counsel, and condolences to their family. But they need to utilize these 365 days to their benefit. All right? Thank you for your time. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. And I'll see you guys later. God bless.